Hey guys, I just got back from the theater from seeing The Foreigner. Uh, yeah, this is probably what the third or fourth review I've done this week. This is the most I've done in a week in a while. I still got one to do tomorrow, so yay! This month of October has been fucking busy, and I just piled it upon myself with all these movie reviews I'm doing. So yeah, I hope you guys appreciate this. The Foreigner. This is a movie I was really looking forward to, despite the reviews it's been getting. It's getting like I think it's at like a 58% on Rotten Tomatoes. I was like, I don't care what rating this is getting. This looks like every time I saw a trailer for this or a commercial for it, I was like, that looks like something that's right up my alley. It's Jackie Chan as a grizzled old Chinese man who is a fucking badass and killing terrorists for killing his daughter. I'm like, hell yeah, I can get behind this. I was like, it looked impressive. I was like, this looks like a movie that was made for me to watch. I was like, I'm a big fan of Jackie Chan. I'm a fan of action movies. I'm like, so there. Yeah, sign me up. And yeah, it was alright. I was kind of disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of walked out kind of disappointed. It was an alright movie. It should have been a lot better than it was. Man, this is easily one of those films like, yeah, this is a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. This is what a 50% of Rotten Tomatoes looks like. The best thing about this movie, hands down, though, the thing that makes this movie, that makes me almost, or kind of recommend it, at least as a rental, is Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan, this is maybe one of his best performances I have seen him do in a long damn time. He has pretty much advertised as this old Chinese man who lives in London, whose daughter gets killed in a bombing done by these terrorists, by the IRA. Terrorist from Ireland, and he is hell-bent on finding out the names of these people and terrorizing Pierce Brosnan and to get the answers of who these people were and so he can track them down and kill them. Basically, he spends a lot of this movie. There's a lot of scenes where he's not saying much, and that is probably the best scenes of this movie. Like the blank expression on his face, his acting through his facial expressions is fantastic. Like, he says so much with no words. It is really good. Like, his performance is fantastic. He looks like a man who's been through fucking hell. He's a guy who is a Vietnam veteran. So I was like, so he's fucking Rambo. I was like, he's a Chinese Rambo. That's the best way I can describe it. In some bits of this movie, he is a Chinese fucking Rambo, which is awesome. It's as awesome as it sounds, trust me. When he's setting traps, that's only a very small part of this movie where he's setting traps, elaborate traps to fucking get some of the bad guys. But he's a Vietnam veteran, the special ops Vietnam veteran who his family, I really didn't understand the backstory that he had a wife and three daughters, and his wife and two of his daughters were killed on his way trying to get out of China or something like that. Somebody comments and please explain to me that's what I kind of got out of it. And his only one daughter survived, and that ends up being the daughter that gets killed at the beginning from the suicide bombing, it wasn't a suicide bombing, from the bombing. And he's hell bent on seeking revenge because he's a man with nothing to lose. He's just like, he has no family left, and it's like kind of very sad. There are some really emotional scenes, like at the beginning, like that scene where he's holding his dead daughter is fucking just heart wrenching. after the bombing. Like, that's one of the most heart-wrenching scenes. Like I said, his acting in this fucking movie is great. Like, he carries this fucking movie easily. The best part and the most intriguing story of the whole movie was his subplot. Pierce Brosnan's good too. Pierce Brosnan is good in this movie, even though he's part of the problem I had with this movie. He is really good in this thing. He is an Irish. He works for the Irish government. Who he also was a former IRA member, and he kind of seems like a very seedy person right from the get-go, who is or isn't part, maybe or maybe isn't a part of the bombing, had a part in the bombing, and that's like what you're trying to figure out. And like, that's because Jackie Chan does not believe anything he says, basically from right at the beginning, and kind of honestly, he has every right to not really believe what he's saying. Like, he is good in this movie. I like Pierce Brosnan, I always do, and he's kind of like the seedy villain in this, and it's kind of fun. He kind of isn't at the same time. The action in this movie is fantastic. It is very, very good. It's shot well, choreographed well. The fight scenes are choreographed well. It's from the director of Martin Campbell, the director of Casino Royale, so that should tell you exactly what kind of action is in this movie. I mean, that's one of the best action movies in the past decade. Yeah, it's like it's a really goddamn good. Like, the action's good. There's not like any shaky cam. I was sitting there trying to figure out. I'm pretty certain that somebody in comments can tell me Jackie Chan ain't doing his own stunts anymore, is he? I'm sure he isn't. He's 63 years old. I'm sure he can't do that shit anymore. If he does, holy shit, that makes me respect Jackie Chan even more. That's one of the things I always loved about Jackie Chan, is that he used to do his own stunts, and I'm sure he ain't doing them anymore. But they still, I mean, it still looks impressive. The scenes, the stunts. He's like doing flips out of houses and like running out of houses, like, or through roofs and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Like I said, he does a pretty good job. Why I didn't like this movie as much as I wanted to is probably the same problem. Is basically the same problem I had with like a movie like Atomic Blonde earlier this year, in that this movie is way too convoluted for a movie that should have just been a movie about a badass Chinese Jackie Chan character who's kind of a Rambo-esque, kind of Rambo in a way, who is hell-bent on finding these terrorists and killing them. It should be just fucking easy as pie to make this kind of movie. But by God, and you could have had the whole government conspiracy thing in there with Pierce Brosnan, and that would have still been fine. But you gotta add Pierce Brosnan's wife is maybe in an IRA. He has a mistress that's maybe in the IRA. He has members of the former colleagues of the IRA that he's trying to get pardoned by the government. He's every character seems to have some kind of hidden agenda. You don't, to the point that you can't figure out by the end of it who the fuck side is each character on, because I had a hard time figuring that out. I don't know if I'm the only one. It shouldn't be this fucking complicated, man. It's like, it's a movie that should have been just simple enough that you could have made it easily. It's just, it's not, like I said, it just, like, it's a movie that I feel like I need to watch again, because I'm sure I missed a lot of shit. I had to even Wikipedia and even some of the shit that happened in the movie, because I was just kind of zoning in and out, because I'm like, I have no idea what the hell's going on. Because if you start zoning in and out, you're going to get fucking lost. And you shouldn't with this kind of movie. And even the fucking Wikipedia page, the plot synopsis sounds even fucking complicated. Like, even it doesn't even know what the fuck is going on in this movie. It's like, damn. It's like I said, there's so many, like I said, double crosses, triple crosses. Like I said, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know half the time whose side was on, or who was on what side. Yeah, it's just a lot of pointless filler. It felt like too sometimes, like the nephew having an affair with Pierce Brosnan's wife. And fucking report. There's characters that just pop in and out of this movie so much that you fucking forget about them. Like the reporter, for God's sakes, that has a key integral part at the end of the movie. He's barely in this fucking thing, to the point that when he pops up, you're like, at the end of the movie, you're like, who the hell is that? Oh, it's that guy. Oh, okay. It's like, yeah, like for a character that has a key integral part in the last act of the movie, it's like he's very barely given any screen time that you barely fucking remember his character. So I mean, that's a problem. Like I said, I wanted to like this movie more than I did. I didn't hate it. I will say that I didn't far from hate it. It's a movie maybe I'll watch again. Maybe over time I'll like it a lot better. But like I said, I recommend it at least as a rental. That's about it. Unless you have like a movie pass thing like I do, you can watch it for free, and if you don't like it, hey, you get to watch it for free. So I mean, yeah, I can't complain too much from on that end. So yeah, that's as far as The Foreigner goes. Trailers. The reason why I didn't do any trailers for Professor Marsden was because I didn't get any new trailers. I did get new trailers in front of this. Molly's Game. It's Jessica Chastain, like, runs a gambling den or something like that, and it's like that's all I got out of it. It's being directed by Aaron Sorkin, the writer of the West Wing, Social Network. A lot of, like, he's one of the most critically acclaimed, the critical darlings of screenwriters out there, and he does really good screenplays. I'll give him that. So this is his directorial debut, and it's supposed to be amazing, just as his fucking screenplays are. But it's like, yeah, all right. I was like, I can get behind that. It's like, it's got a good cast. There's got Idris Elba in it too. I forget who else is in it, but it looked all right. Den of Thieves. It's your stereotypical bank robbery movie with 50 Cent. He's still relevant, I guess. And Gerard Butler 50 Cent is a part of the gang of guys that are robbing banks and robbing armored trucks. And Gerard Butler's a cop who specializes in taking down these guys like these. And yeah, that's what you get with this movie. It didn't look very fucking memorable. And then last one I got was Roman J. Israel Esquire. That's a fucking mouthful to say. Yeah, that's a fucking title. These titles are fucking weird lately. Between this and Professor Marsden and a Wonder Woman. Yeah. It's Denzel Washington, who plays a CD lawyer. That's all I got out of it. It's also being directed by the guy who made Nightcrawler, which is kind of promising. I love Nightcrawler. If like Denzel Washington's playing like kind of like a Jake Gyllenhaal character in Nightcrawler, but if he was a lawyer, I could get behind that. Yeah, that's as far as the trailers go. I'm halfway through watching The Babadook. That's an interesting movie, I will say so far. And I'll have a review of that probably from tomorrow, so look out for that. And until then, I'll talk to you guys.